Alright guys, so I've been noticing we've been having a little bit of trouble writing our absolute value equations when we're given a word problem. So I'm going to kind of go over these in a little more detail for you if you're having trouble. Okay, so I'm going to go over this first kind of simple example. So it says a standard adult tennis racket has a 100 square inch head plus or minus 20 square inches. Write and solve an absolute value equation to determine the least and greatest possible sizes for the head of an adult tennis racket. Okay, so really we're first talking about how we need to understand this problem and we need to plan what we're going to do. The most important thing is that when writing an absolute value equation, the middle or central value is always placed on the outside of the equality symbols, okay? And the range is always placed on the other side. So you can see that right here. This red value is the central value and we subtract that from x, okay? And then that's going to equal our range. All right, so for example, in this problem, our central value is going to be the 100 square inch head, right? So we're going to have x minus 100 in absolute value signs. And our range is going to be plus or minus 20 inches, right? Because we're either going up 20 inches or down 20 inches. So that's going to equal 20. And that's exactly how you would set up this problem. And then when you go about solving it, it's the same as your other absolute value equations, right? We'd have x minus 100 equals 20, or x minus 100 equals negative 20. And you would solve both of those, and those would give you your options for x. Don't forget to plug it back in and check it. Okay, so the biggest thing here is x minus central value is going to equal your range. That's how you set up these absolute value equations, okay? So let me look at the one for your homework tonight, and I'll kind of go into a little detail to help you set it up. Okay, this one is the hardest that these absolute value equations will get. So, Pluto travels in a path that is not circular. Pluto's farthest distance from the sun is 4,539 million miles, and its closest distance is 2,756 million miles. Write an equation that can be solved to find the minimum and maximum distances from the sun to Pluto. All right, so we know we're trying to get x minus our central value equals our range. This problem's a little bit difficult because it doesn't really give us our exact central value or our range. So I'm going to draw a picture. So I have my sun here, and let's just say this is Pluto, okay? And we have our distances here. So our farthest distance could be about 4,539, okay? Or our closest distance could be 2,756 million miles. Okay, so we don't really know what our central value is. So we could have our farthest, our closest, or anything in between there. So our central value is going to be our average of those two. So we're going to have 4,539 plus 2,756, all divided by 2 to give us our average or our central value. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute to plug that into my calculator. All right, so that gives us 3,647.5. So that's going to be our central value, right? Or our average value, okay? What's kind of in the middle. And then we have to find our range. So in this case, our range is just going to be 4,539 subtracted from 2,756 divided by 2, because that's going to give us our range. Okay, which is about 891.5. Okay? This is our range of distances. So then when we set up our equation, we're just going to have t, right, minus 3,647.5, which is our central, equals our range of 891.5. And then I'll let you solve that from there. All right, so I hope this helps if you were a little bit confused about absolute value equations. All right, so just remember that x minus your central value will always equal your range. So it will always be set up like that. It's just up to you to figure out what your central value is and what your range is. Problems will mostly be like these, where you'll have your central and your range given to you. This astronomy one is probably the most difficult that the absolute value equations will get. Okay, if you have any other questions on this, you can definitely let me know. Feel free to come in before school starts tomorrow or during tutorial. All right, have a great night.